I walked, I was feeling dizzy. I went, I got into the cab, blacked out. Maybe I can just crawl up and just stay here. Maybe I can just die here. Easy. The next thing I remember, I was in the ICU. I do it because I want to feel it. I mean, I'm still alive because of them.
Hey, welcome to Life in Between. When we dreamt of this podcast, we believed we had to invite our friends pretending to be our guests. I mean, we are new, of course. But somehow, we managed to land a guest who makes us sound way cooler than who we are. Meet Sunith, a delivery manager at Thomson Reuters and a mountain climber in progress. From battling with TB to chasing 7 summits, his story has more plot twists than Netflix series. This story has everything. It has drama, it has adventure, it has life lessons, and a feeling that maybe, just maybe, you need to get off this couch and do something in real. Grab your coffee, settle in, and let's start. So how did this all started? Like, when did you realize that you had a passion for trekking, climbing, or like you just wanted to try, or how did it all start?
Okay, so I never traveled out of Hyderabad
Okay,
until 2013.
okay,
When I say never traveled, I didn't even go to Charminar, which is basically the main thing in Hyderabad.
yeah,
And if you're a Hyderabadi, you cannot not go to Charminar. Until I finished engineering, which was in 2012. 2013 is when I actually went to Charminar.
okay,
Until then, I never even stepped out of the radius of 30 kilometers or something like that. It's always been home, college, come back, home, office, come back, whatever it is. But 2013, I bought my bike. This was a KTM Duke 200. I joined this small, riding club, the KTM owners group. We went on a small few rides. Then one day, ambitious of all of us, as all plans go, around 40 people said, yes, we'll go to Goa.
okay,
And at the end of it, 3 people ended up going to Goa. So at that moment in time, first ride out of the city, first ride of everything, I went to Goa on my bike from Hyderabad to Goa and then back in about 4 days. We came back one week in, and I was feeling fine. And then a week later, I had to go to office. Generally, I walk from my place to Safalgoda. It's basically my pickup point. It's about 1.2 kilometers.
okay,
I walked, I was feeling dizzy. I went, I got into the cab, blacked out. Woke up in office, still was very dizzy. Went to the sick room, again blacked out. The next thing I remember, I was in the ICU. And when I was in the ICU, a doctor comes walking up to me with a white coat, with a pad in his hand, with glasses which are weird for some reason. He smiles very weirdly as well in my head. He comes and says, "Hey, are you okay?" First, I was like, "Hey, no, I'm fine. But why am I here?" I thought maybe because it is my low BP, which is a common thing for me generally that time. Woke up, had a brief conversation, and he says, "Hey, you have tuberculosis." I'm like, "Hey?" I didn't know what TB meant. Okay. So what does that mean? When do I get out? That was the first question. It's like, you're going to stay here for a while.
okay,
And then he got this huge ass syringe. You remember for buffaloes, they give this big syringes, right?
Yeah.
He came in, he put that syringe in my lung, took out a lot of fluid. It was basically a yellow, and showed it to me. This is the liquid that is formed inside your lung, and it is caused by tuberculosis. I said, okay, you removed it. I can go, right? No. This is going to be forming in your lung over and over and over and over again. We're going to remove it over and over again. But in a couple of days, it's also going to crystallize. So because of that, you need to stay here. You need to be on medication. We need to puncture your lung. We need to remove the crystallized bacteria, whatever it is, and we need to actually force it out. So I was in the hospital for 3 months.
Wow.
I
Okay.
had about 4 surgeries, two being here, two being here, because the bacteria flowed up until here, and they had to remove it. So why am I setting the context? Because that time I didn't know what anything meant.
Yeah.
So after 3 months, I got discharged. I was still feeling weak. I went from 75 kilos to about 42 kilos or something.
Yeah.
Skin and bones. Came back home. Was on the bed, still bed rest. I was just tired of the hospital. My best friend calls me. He says, "Hey, I need your credit card." I was like, "Okay, why?" So there's something called the Himalayas. I was like, okay. In my mind, the Himalayas is equal to geography map, right hand top corner. That's it.
Yeah.
Nothing else beyond that. I was like, okay, how much do you need? I need 4,000 rupees. There's a thing called YHI, Youth Hostels Association of India. They're doing this SAR pass, and it's about 11 days. I want to go, is what he said. I was like, fuck you, I am also coming. And he said, it's 3 months away. And at that moment in time, I was struggling to even, put my hand across and actually pick up the call. So I said, I'm going to come. Why I said that, I don't know. All I knew was that I wanted to get up and move. I was feeling, obviously depressed. I was feeling powerless. And I wanted to do something that makes me feel alive, makes me feel that I can do something that other people will look at me and say, you can't do it.
Okay.
So 3 months away, I started getting up, started walking, started running a bit. And then I went to my doctor, my pulmonologist, and asked, hey, there's this thing called the Himalayas. I want to go. He's like, you realize what you're asking for, right? You just literally came out. But give me all of the tablets. I'm going to take it. Don't worry. So she signed off reluctantly, and after 3 months, I had half a bag of tablets because at that moment in time, I was taking about 18 tablets a day. So half a bag of tablets for 11 days. So 18 into 180, 198 tablets basically. And then the other half was my clothes. We went, and that was the first trek, Sar Pass. And once I reached the mountains, that is when I realized that, hey, this is kind of home. This is where I belong. This is what I really like. Not that I was good at it. I was dying. I was feeling so hopeless that everyone else were, running away from me, but I was walking with bated breath. I was just trying to survive. But at the end of it, I knew I could survive. And that started out as a base for me to try everything new, just keep climbing. And that was my initial experience. So whenever someone asks why you do it, I do it because I want to feel alive. No, because I've been in that situation where I felt dead. No, I want to feel alive. So being in situations where it's at minus 30 degrees, Stok Kangri being a classic example, Elbrus being a classic example recently. It's dark, the wind is blowing on your face, nobody's right around you, everyone wants to quit. But still, you keep going because you took a decision to move forward. Everything stems back to this main story, but the motivation always has been move forward. Where do you start is not where you constantly belong. You keep moving forward. Yeah, that's where it all started.
So Sarpas is your first trek ever.
Yes, first trek ever.
Nice.
It's I mean, when I say first trek ever, there are a few small hills right next door. There's Amuguda, which is right next door to me. I keep posting about that in my stories. People are very vexed about me exploiting Amuguda, but that is a small hill, 40 meters.
Okay.
I keep going there, just to chill, but it's not a trek. It's a small hill. You can walk up. You can even go and take your bike along as well. So it's always nice. But yeah, my first trek to the Himalayas was Sarpas.
See, I understand that, see, after such a difficult moments in that, hospital, the Sarpas being like, a lifeline kind of a thing, right? Where you start feeling alive and where you start having all those things. But you come back home. You come back to your same old routine. So when did it turn into an obsession of keep trying new things and especially being with the mountains itself? Like you can feel alive in everything. Like you can feel alive even with some people take up riding and some people take up driving. Some people, anyways, that one. But with the mountains and that obsession about it, how did it start and how was that journey?
So the motivation was there. The baseline was there.
You have
Yeah.
felt that high and
Yeah,
you
felt
wanted
that
it.
high, but more importantly, anyone who's been onto the mountains will, for the first time, and they've come back to the city, will understand this feeling. The moment you enter into the city, you're surrounded by buildings instead of surrounded by trees.
Yeah.
You're surrounded by smog instead of surrounded by fog. So, whenever that clean air turns to semi-poisonous air and hair, it feels like you're completely away from being alive.
Correct.
It feels like you're slowly dying. But again, it's not just that, right? That feeling of belonging only comes after you go there and again do it. The first time is always special, but the first time is just you being naive and just attempting it. The second time was Roopkund. That also was after 2 years. After 2013, I went in 2015.
Oh, that's about the same year, I guess, which I went to Roopkund.
Achha.
Nice.
But I went in September, so I'm not sure if.
No, April, I believe.
Yeah.
April. Yeah.
Obviously,
Please go on. Yeah.
September. I went there. I've always been thinking about the Himalayas. I always missed being out there. I was still undergoing treatment. The treatment was for 3 years for my TB, because I won a lottery, genetic lottery of having a TB which is very resistant, and 1 in a million is what they've said. So 1 in a million is what I keep referring to as a minion. So 3 years of treatment. So I was still undergoing treatment, and my doctor said after the Sarpas, don't go.
Okay.
Don't go. This is bad for you. Please stay. So I stayed back for 2 years, and then I went through my first breakup, as usual, as everyone does.
Okay, I understand the motivation.
Yeah, and I thought, okay, I needed to get out. I needed to escape. I needed to do something. Saw Roopkund and thought, okay, this is 16,000 feet, higher than 13,000 feet. I should go. I was decently fit. I was going to the gym. I was trying to maintain my fitness, but not the fitness necessary for a mountain. Went to Roopkund. Just before that, my close friend passed away. His name is Mihir Chadda, and he did this MTV around India ride, where he had to go to. It was a challenge by MTV, where he had to go to each and every unique city or state or whatever it is, record before. This is kind of pre-Instagram. Record short videos, tell a story, and post it on MTV. So he was doing all of that, and I was so fascinated. He's going around India, around everywhere, and we promised each other that we're going to go and start climbing. He was 20, I was 25. I was still a kid, but that was a good starting point, or that was one of the things that I thought we'll do something. But just before Roopkund, he passed away, and because of that, I also thought, okay, I should start. I should go. I should honor his memory or whatever it is. So I went. I climbed Roopkund. Again, felt completely different to what I felt in Tharpas. Reaching Junargali, which is at 16,700 feet, you could see Mount Trishul right in front of you. Nanda Devi towards the left side. There was a small temple. I'm not religious, but there was a small temple which signified that, this mountain is near Mount Trishul, and it's closer to Shivji or whatever it is. There's a sense of spirituality that comes in.
Yeah.
Okay. Not that again it changes you or it transforms you into a spiritual person, but that feeling itself is you're closer to something much more higher than what you can explain to. So that sense of, hey, the more higher I climb, the more clearer my brain becomes. That idea got implanted in my brain at that moment in time. So after that, it was just okay, I'm back. I have money, meaning I didn't have money, but I have a credit card. So next, go to Roopkund, which is higher. Then go to Everest Base Camp, which is higher. Then look at Everest, highest in the world. Then the obsession started. That is where I want. The highest point in the world. That is where I want to be. How do I get there? I have no idea. But do I want to go there? Yes. Can my body actually survive in 28,886 feet? Not necessarily. My pulmonologist keeps saying, don't go beyond 23.
Oh.
Your lung is not designed for it yet. So whenever I go up about 20,000 feet, there's a searing pain on my left side lung. But I still do. I continue to do because it makes you feel alive. So again, where did that obsession start? There, in Roopkund, at Janargali. With the people around you, the mountains around you, the elements around you. Yeah, that is where the idea started and the obsession to continue began.
I unfortunately didn't have the privilege of going to Junargali.
Yeah.
It was not like every day you can't. That's what
We were
they did us.
lucky. I was lucky.
Yeah, that's one regret I do have. But talking about Roopkund, one of my favorite memory was like we were in. I went through India X.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So on the first day, we were all sitting. I mean, like getting to know session kind of a thing. Like took a train, and from there 250 kilometers for the base camp. From in a cab we went, and then in the evening we were just sitting. Then I came across two friends. Like they are 60 plus somewhere. One had a background of army. The other was his friend who is 60 plus, but that is his first trek ever in his life.
Nice.
And he finished it so effortlessly.
Yeah.
I was like, I wish I'm that fit when I reach that age.
Yeah. So on exactly on the opposite spectrum in Roopkund, my group, I went through India Hikes as well that time, and my group had 4 people who were 25, 26. I was 25 at that time. And everyone else was 60 above. Everyone were doctors. 70% of them were 60-year-olds were doctors. 30 were, army officials, and basically they've retired as well. All of them friends from Mumbai and different places. They've trekked together from the last 20 years. So they came along. Now, why do I even mention this? Not only to supplement your story, but also when I was in Van, I think, the 3rd or 4th camp.
Okay.
That camp was extremely cold in September. And I was still undergoing tuberculosis treatment. I didn't tell anyone that I had TB. So I went, and the altitude got to me. It was at 15,000 or 14,000 feet or something like that. The altitude got to me. I was not breathing right. It was so difficult to just walk straight. People thought it was altitude sickness, but there were a couple of doctors, by a stroke of luck, because I was there, they were there, who also had antibiotics, who also got steroid shots. They saw me struggling. they gave me steroid shots, and because of that, I could continue. So luck plays a huge role, and I mean, I'm still alive because of them. I've done a lot of other stupid things which I find extremely stupid in hindsight, but I was extremely lucky. An example being in Roopkund itself, you go to Janargali. Generally, Janargali is like this. You can't go because it's too snowing. It's snowing too much. The wind is too much. The fog is too much. You can't see anything. We had a small weather window where we could climb up. While climbing down, I had so much energy that I actually ran down along with another friend of mine. So it was sunny in the morning when we reached at 6 a.m.
Yeah.
While coming down 8 a.m., it started fogging up. You keep running, and then you can't see anything in front of you. Everything is, completely white. I was running at full speed, and then I hear a dog bark. Okay. I thought nothing of it initially, and then the dog kept barking and barking and barking. After like 4 or 5 times, I stopped. There was another friend of mine who's a girl who also tried to run along with me. She was also coming at full speed. So she was running, I was running. We stopped. Fortunately, even her bumping into me did not push me a little further. And then this fog kind of cleared up. There was a deep pass down. Because of that dog, I survived still. And, again, we were laughing at it because at that point we were like full of adrenaline.
Yeah.
We were running down. We're like, we're still alive. And then again, the fog kind of covered everything. Now it was we were stuck there for about 4 hours.
Okay.
And it was kind of coming until evening or something like that. And in Roopkund, if you are stuck in the evening, it's really difficult to navigate through.
Yes.
So we were panicking. We were thinking, okay, maybe we should go back up again. Or maybe we should, because even back as well, there was no route. We couldn't see anything. Front, we know nothing could happen. Side, there was a valley. What else can you do? And at that moment in time, a dog comes, tugs my pant, barks a little, and leads us back to the camp.
Fuck.
So luck again. I don't know. I have a picture of that dog. It's a Himalayan dog. It's amazing. She was very cute. But yeah, that's another story. And I have another stupid story as well. I have several stupid stories, but
Oh, please go on. Would love to hear.
I'm context switching to Stok Kangri. Stok Kangri, you've asked about where does it start and where does it go.
Correct.
Probably I'll start from there.
Yeah.
Stoke Village is the starting point. You go from there to Camp 1, which is at 14,000 feet. Camp 2, which is at 15,000. Advanced Base Camp, which is at 16,000. From Advanced Base Camp, you rest there for a day.
Correct.
This was on July 17th, my birthday. Worst decision ever to go anywhere on your birthday. Not Stok Kangri. Anywhere else except Stok Kangri. July 17th, midnight, we decided at 11:30 a.m. that we are going to start. Stok Kangri.
11:30 a.m. or p.m.? Like
11:30 p.m.
Yeah.
12 a.m. Okay.
Yeah.
So 11:30 p.m. we started. Traditionally, it takes about 10 hours to reach the top.
Yeah.
And then about 3 hours to come back. So we started at 11:30 p.m. Went until advanced camp. Base camp is different. Advanced camp.
Okay.
There, among the 8 people who actually started the night, 4 people went back. So four more are remaining. From advanced camp to the shoulder, it's a 75-degree slope. It's like you have to have your ice axe, you have to have your trekking pole or something, and you just need to go all night. You go through a glacier as well in between. So all night, it was maybe around -20, -25. The wind was blowing on your face. There were literally 2 people who were completely ahead of me. There was this one guy called Damodaran who was right behind me. And we were 4 hours into it, and I was I remember very distinctly that I was carrying Yogi Bear chocolates. I was so horrible that I kept on eating them. I kept on eating them, but it was not giving me any kind of energy. And I thought, okay, I have like 7 Yogi Bear chocolates in my jacket pocket. It's not helping. I don't want to go down. I don't want to go up. Maybe I can just crawl up and just stay here. Maybe I can just die here. Easy. I don't know what else to do at that point in time, because it was, you were tired. The night was so pitch dark. The stars were out, of course, but you didn't know what to do. And then this Damodaran guy in between said, okay, hey, 10 steps. 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Stop. 10 minutes. Then 10 steps. Stop. 10. Then again, 20 steps. 5 minutes. 30 steps. 3 minutes. We went on and on and on. We went like that for about another 4-5 hours. Then we reached the shoulder. So from the advanced camp, you reach the shoulder in about 4 hours, 4.5 hours. At the shoulder, we were supposed to eat. And my food fell down the glacier. So I had one egg. I cracked the egg, I ate the egg. And again, stupidly of me, I didn't know what was right next to me. I was sitting on a ledge again. I didn't see right side. I had my bottle on my right side. And I took a sip and I kept it towards my right. And then I did this. The bottle fell down. No water, no food, no energy. So we are like, what do you do now? You can't go back because there's no guide. You have to go up. So we went again, me and Damodaran again with the same formula, 10 steps, 10 steps. From the shoulder till the first point of the summit. There are 3 fall summits for Stok Kangri.
Okay.
So the first fall summit, we still managed somehow or the other. And at that first fall summit, amongst the other 2, one person went down. And then our Sherpa was there. He saw that everyone was struggling. He tied all of us with a rope. Literally pulled us up to the top. We reached the summit in another 3 hours or something like that. It was full foggy. We couldn't see shit. The idea was you can actually see the entire Zanskar range from Stok Kangri. We couldn't see anything. We reached the top. The first thing I did was like literally kneel down in front of prayer flags and kept crying for about 5 minutes. My tears were frozen. Everything was frozen. But I was just crying all the time. I was crying so much because I was remembering Mihir as well. But so much emotion comes out. So once you reach there, you're exhausted. We took a couple of pictures. I had my camera along, but I didn't even take one picture. But we were there. While everyone else was celebrating, I had my first signs of AMS. So my head was spinning. Obviously, I didn't have any food. And I was all vomiting as well. I vomited a bit, which is not a good sign for altitude sickness. So the Sherpa looked at me and said, go down immediately. The Sherpa had to stay with the other 2. So he was there. He said, tum jao, I'll come in like 2 minutes. And what you could see, so you're on top of this mountain. This is the angle.
Yeah.
And what you could see is steep down. This is a slide. That's my brain. This is a slide. So in my brain, I was like, I have 2 trekking poles. My pant is slidable. I'll get down, put my trekking pole like this, like a steering wheel, slide down. I slid down. First, 10 kilometers an hour. Estimation, 20 kilometers an hour. 30. And then my brain, oh, this is fast. 50, 60. What the fuck? This is really fast. And then you could see right in front, there's a ledge. And I thought about it when I was there. Remember the Tom and Jerry cartoons where like Tom goes away and then from the ledge you're like, ting. like that, right? So I was like, okay, maybe that is what is going to happen. And I was panicking at that moment in time, but I was also laughing because my head was not in the right
Yeah.
state. And then there were a group of Syrians who were coming along with a Sherpa. They were maybe 200 meters down. But the Sherpa saw me. He saw how fast I was coming down. He literally ran up. He had two ice axes. Put one ice axe on the inside the ground, and the other ice axe literally dragged me out of the pathway, and pulled me out to the side. I, I was about to die again, but and I thought, okay, maybe I didn't even think anything. I just got up, didn't even say hi, thanks. I just went back and down, and that is one of the things I regret the most, not saying thanks to that guy. Then I don't know how I still managed to come down, and yeah, still alive. So, yeah. That's one of the stupidest things I've ever done. But it was fun.
All of them are, I guess.
Yeah. So yeah, that's a nice memory. I don't know where I started, but I'm rambling on. Sorry.
Don't have to think about that. See, one of the first things that I noticed, or I would rather like to ask you this. Like, there is a phrase called, mountain has to call you.
Mhm.
How much do you believe in that?
I was talking to a friend of mine about this. Everyone says the mountains are calling and I have to be there. They'll call you, but you have to have the patience to go
Yeah.
first. You have to have the patience to stay. Second, third, you have to have the mental energy and the endurance to climb. Third, most people get to part one. Some people get to part two, where they have the patience, they want to experience the slow life, the good life. They think that the city is not for them. Of course, city is not for a lot of people. They want to settle down, they want to open a cafe, and that's fine. But once you experience the actual mountain villages, you will not be there. I mean, you will be there if someone is serving something to you. But if you have to live by yourself, I was there for about 3 months in Ladakh. I was there for about 2 months in Himachal, living by myself, working, cooking, doing whatever I can. It's a hard life. It's not easy. You get so used to luxuries in cities that you can't do it. So the mountains might call you, but you need to be prepared to actually go there and stay there and be patient. And if you want to continue to climb, you need to, passion only comes, or rather, passion only helps you for 2 years. That's what I told my friend who said that I want to start climbing. She was very excited. I want to start climbing. Do you have a goal? No, but I love the mountains. I want to start. Okay, good. Go. But what do you want to do? No, I want to follow your 7 summer journey. And now that is a different question. Do you have a goal? Is that your dream? Do you want to do the 7? Or are you just fascinated by the idea of the 7? Those are two different conversations. If you're okay with the fascination, climb 1. Say you've climbed one of the 7. Go home. Just do, Kuari Pass or Harkidun, or these kind of mountains. These have all of the sceneries in the world. You have the snow, you have the wind, you have the view of the mountains, you have everything. The 7 is not for everyone. It might not even be for me, but this is a dream that I had, and I want to continue on that dream. So it's been 3 years now, and I still continue to have that dream. I continue to work on that dream. It's exhausting. I was telling her the same thing in the morning. Just training is hard, exhaustive, irritating. People question you why you do it. I question myself why I do it. But yeah, if I want to do it, then I have to do it. That's it.
I can understand the first, when you said the passion is for 2 years, because I think that's where my journey ended also. Because, like, first it was a fascination with Himalayas, obviously. I've done decent amount of treks in Karnataka, but Himalayas was the first big thing. Roopkund was, and once I did that, like I promised myself that every year I will go back.
Oh yeah.
Uh, I think everybody does that now.
Yeah.
And I did follow up with Pangarchula next year, but after that I could never like either. I know all of these are reasons, but yeah, some or the other things come in the way, and that
Yeah.
never happened. Or now maybe even I'm hesitant. I don't know. I don't know what goes on beyond my own thinking, but yeah. So this was that question because of that. Secondly, like especially in the Roopkund, I went with four of my friends, and one is a seasonal trekker in Karnataka. Like she has done every trek and seamlessly she can do. At that time, I'm still a noob, but even at that time, like no practice, no nothing, everything. She got AMS on the
Yeah.
last camp before we took the Roopkund one.
Oh yeah.
So
the lake, near the lake. Okay.
yeah. So somewhere she couldn't do it, but I mean, I think I'm blessed because I could do it, and I was not fit enough to do it. One thing.
It's a strange thing that there are people, even on the 7. So I've did Kili, I've gone to Aconcagua, I've done Elbrus. Training for Aconcagua was torturous. It's at 6,900 meters. I've done everything I could. I've trained for 22 hours a week. I've tortured myself literally. And then there's someone who comes along who says, I've trained maybe 1 hour a week. He doesn't look fit, but he just strolls around, he just goes, climbs. And you think to yourself, is this fair? I mean, so obviously it's not the output, or rather the outcome is for everyone, but what you put into it either is a structured way, or some people are just born to go there. So it's not about you going there or you not going there. It's a lot of the times it's just based on your genetics and your luck, unfortunately. I know I say that because I've been to a few places, but also Aconcagua I couldn't couldn't go to the summit, but some people did, and I know that I've worked harder than them, and still I couldn't. I was in depression for a long time, for about 2 months, because I couldn't. I worked so hard. I actually put so much effort into it. But you have to accept it eventually, and that's how you get to it.
That's what, like, at least from my perspective, one thing, I was a very different guy back then. But I think mountain did change me in terms of perspective of life.
Yeah.
That you are nothing in front of the whole ecosystem of world.
Yeah. There's a saying that you don't climb the mountains let you
climb. Yeah.
So initially there's arrogance that, oh no,
yeah, exactly.
You are putting the effort, you are doing everything. But honestly, if the mountain gods, again, I know I don't believe in gods, but spirituality is something that I've picked up from the mountains. If the mountains don't allow you, meaning literally the clouds are bad, or if the weather is bad, if it's foggy, if there's snow, if it's snow but you can still climb but you don't have the right shoes, circumstances don't allow you to climb. So it is that, or just wait. You have to get to that eventually, somehow or the other.
In that particular phase of my life, I was like obsessed with wanting to do more. As I said, even Stok Kangri was in my head for a long time, and one of my friends did it, and I was like, I want to do it, but somehow didn't. So I was coming through all the newses, and you keep reading about all this stuff, and right. So I read one article where it said, seasoned trekker, he had done it like 28, 20, 30 times or something. But unfortunately, he passed away because of AMS. Like, you can be as prepared as you want, but you still have nothing in your control.
Yeah.
Right?
AMS is not a scientific thing. Unfortunately, initially I thought it was a formula, right? Initially, I was under the impression that you drink as much as water as possible, pee as much as possible, and you will retain the oxygen in your body and in your head, and that's how you avoid AMS. But the repercussion of it is something called water poisoning. I used to drink 8 liters of water, pee all the time, and all of the salts in your body go away as well. What that does is create a sense of lightheadedness in your own body and in your brain, so you can't continue. So it's a balance. You need to listen to your body, and you need to understand when to stop, where to stop, and also you need to have backups, meaning that you need to have people around you.
Yeah.
Most importantly, listen to your guide. If he says आपको नहीं हो रहा है, please वापस जाओ,
Yeah.
you have to listen.
I read a lot about AMS, and one more is there, right? AML. I don't
So
know.
HAPE,
Yeah, HAPE.
HACE,
Yes.
and AMS.
Yes.
HAPE is high altitude pulmonary edema.
Yeah.
HACE is high altitude cerebral edema. And AMS is altitude and high altitude mountain sickness.
Yeah. So
HLS.
I had read about all of these things, but I never saw it.
Oh yeah.
But once you see it, you understand the
Extent of it.
On the last day of my Pangachula trek, I was like, we were trekking and we started the day, and one guy, like, he couldn't walk straight.
Oh yeah.
He was like going this way, like nothing was in his control, and the guide was like, you have to immediately climb down. And once you see it, like, you understand, okay, this is that. Like, no matter how much you read about it or how much you know about it, it's still, that when you see it, it will hit you, that you don't have it under your control.
So I did this mountaineering course in NIM, Nehru Institute of Mountaineering, Uttarkashi. I couldn't do it in the first attempt because 15 days, and I got what is that called? I got viral fever from someone in the batch, and I had to go back. Second attempt was in HMI, Himalayan Institute of Mountaineering, HIM, Himalayan Institute of Mountaineering in Darjeeling. I did the 29-30 days. In that, my batch, one person got HACE, cerebral edema. Because HAPE is still common. HAPE is almost like tuberculosis, basically, where pulmonary edema is in your lungs, fluid generates because of the phlegm that you constantly have while breathing, and it's a combination. But cerebral edema comes when it's an extreme situation, and if there is even a singular sign of HACE, you quit. Immediately get rescued. Unfortunately, one of the batch, not my batchmate, but one of the people there died because of HACE. So it happens a lot, and it's not. And this guy was 4 levels above me. So in mountaineering courses, there are BMC, Basic Mountaineering Course, AMC, Advanced Mountaineering Course, SNC, Search and Rescue, and then MOI, Methods of Instruction. So this guy was in MOI, Methods of Instruction.
Okay.
And he still suffered HACE. He was a pro. He was an instructor to be. Still, he was there. So it's not an easy formula to decipher.
Yeah.
And again, people keep saying you train as much as hard as possible, you do whatever as possible. Ultimately, it comes down to, at that moment in time, what do you do and what kind of decisions you make. If you can't quit, you're going to die next. So it's hard. There are so many stories of Everest like that.
So you have done like BMC and AMC, like both?
No, I've only done BMC.
Okay.
The initial idea was that NIM would be BMC, HMI would be AMC, because I waited 4 years between those two, and the waiting period is 2 years, to get into this institutes. So the first time it didn't happen, so I went to HMI again for BMC. So That is the second time I did BMC. But you need 30 days to actually
Yeah.
go and do it. I didn't want to quit my job. And I wanted to balance everything. I want to continue climbing the ladder in my professional career, corporate career, as well as this as well. I'm a little too ambitious on all fronts. So I'm a bit obsessed on both ends.
So how was it? How was the BMC course?
Brutal. My dad was in the Air Force, so I understand the concept of service, mindset, the service mindset. So my dad used to, wake us up at 5, make us go for a run, or make us go for a walk. Say, okay, when you're in front of me, stand at ease. When you're in front of guest, attention. When you're saying something, say sir. When you're saying addressing someone, say ma'am. Always be disciplined. That's what my dad taught us most of the time. But getting to BMC it's run by the army themselves. Oh boy, you wake up at 3:30 every day. Otherwise, you won't get bathrooms. So the earlier you wake up, the cleaner the bathroom is. So you go to the bathroom at 3:30, do your stuff, come out. 4 o'clock there's tea. 4:15 you have to get out, go for a 10-kilometer run up the hill, do 10K. At the end of 10K, there's 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, and 100 normal abductor exercises. After that, you run back another 3 kilometers. Then again they make us do yoga. I didn't know yoga was so torturous, but that time it was. I didn't know my leg didn't move. I didn't know. I didn't think that even such a thing existed. So yoga, and then they'll give you half an hour to take a shower and get changed. Come back, another half an hour for breakfast, and then an entire day of classes, theory classes. And after that, entire day, meaning from 9:30 till 12, it's one theory. Lunch is half an hour. Then another 3 hours for theory. Then you go to rock climbing for another 2 hours. And then they teach you roping techniques. By the end of 7 p.m., you're either dead or so exhausted that you can't even get up.
So, like all of the 10K runs and 100 push-ups and everything within 9:30 in the morning.
Yeah, within 9:30 in the morning.
Okay.
Within 9:30 in the morning, every day, 100%. And if you don't do it, they're like, you're not fit for it. क्यों आए हो यहाँ पे? It's like the typical army mindset, right? So, oh boy. Most of us used to break down crying because it's so hard. But I already knew the torture behind it because of NIM. But a few kids, maybe 17, 18, 19, they used to come, they used to break down. They used to say, Bhai, kya ho raha hai? Why am I here? But yeah, and there are, on the opposite spectrum, there are army personnel, people coming in from special ops, who just do it like, okay, it's the walk in a park or something. They just run, they just come back and like, itne ke liye? Bro, please, don't kill us, But their stories are also amazing. How there was this one guy in my batch, in my rope. They call it, every batch is called a rope.
Okay.
And a batch is, or a rope is 6 people. One guy was from special ops, and he was telling us about his selection process. In the selection process, they make you do a 50-hour run with a 60-kilo backpack, no food, no water. They make you run through the forest. There are checkpoints. There are army personnel who look at you, and if you quit, then they remove you from the selection immediately. So you have to complete it if you want to be in the selection race. And this guy was telling me that he was 76 kilos at the start of the event, 50 hours. By the end of it, he was 62 kilos. He lost 10 kilos, all fat gone. No food, nothing, no water. just running on fat. I and he showed me pictures of how he was before and how he was after. It seemed like he was running. He was a running dead body. That horrible. And it's not about the physical fitness. He keeps telling me it's about the mental fitness.
Yeah.
He keeps saying that there were other people who did not complete it, but when the army commanders would come and try to help them, they wouldn't quit. They would crawl. That is the mindset the army is looking for special ops. And they were like, those people got selected. I also got selected. I somehow finished it, but the bottom line is don't quit. Just survive. I say it's a similar mindset on the mountains as well, as much as possible. Survive. Don't. Again, you should quit for some time. Otherwise, you're gonna die. But survive.
So what's your, how's your mindset when you want to quit?
I can't. I mean, most of the time I can't quit.
How do you motivate yourself? Like your body is breaking down, and there's nothing you can do about it. The simple thing to do is quit. No matter, let's say that you have pushed yourself 10 times already. The 11th time is much more harder now to push yourself, because when will it end? That's the question. It will come, or when will I reach my peak? Right? So how do you?
It's not a simple answer, unfortunately. Different mountains have different meaning to you. At that moment in time, different people have different meaning to you. Motivation comes from the events surrounding before and after the mountains. So, Stok Kangri, I was quitting. The guy who was behind me was motivating me. I didn't have any kind of mindset. Then Kilimanjaro was the next one, which was tough. I saw several people coming down quitting. But I thought to myself, if I quit, first of all, paisa zyada gaya hai. Second, I'm not a quitter. I can't quit. I won't quit. I'll try to do as much as possible. And I will listen to my guide. My guide was right in front of me. He believed that I could do it. Why am I doubting myself? I just go. I keep going. But when there is no guide, that is when it's a very difficult conversation with your own head. I think, where was this? Goichala. Goichala was one mountain. We went until peak 3, or rather viewpoint 3, where you can see Kanchenjunga directly in front of you. The last 150 meters is torturous. It's brutal. But I was just going because I was like, okay, would Meher quit? No. Just go. Okay, 1 step, 2 steps, 3 steps, 4 steps. Take a break. Breathe. Tell yourself you're fine. Then another 5 steps. Break. Tell yourself you're fine. You keep self-assuring yourself. You're fine, you're fine, you're fine, you're fine. Because when you break down, it's more mentally rather than physically. Because just imagine, if a leopard comes, or rather if a snow leopard comes right behind you at that moment in time and chases you, you're running for your life.
Yeah.
You thought you did not even have the energy, but that motivation comes, right? And in BMC, we were taught, use fat. Use the fat within you. You have all the energy stores. Use it. Your brain is the first thing that quits, not your body. So use the fat. That's what we do.
So how did this whole 7 summits started?
It's a very funny thing to say, or rather it's a very naive thing to say. I was going after 2020 COVID, obviously everyone were at home. I went back, I did Brahmatal first, and then the next year I did Sandakphu. Again, just coming back to the mountains, I was overweight. I was thinking, okay, what should I do? There was this one guy who, in Sandakphu in December, who said that he's climbing the Himalayas. He's here for a leisure walk. I was like, what? I'm dying here again. You're saying leisure walk. And he was talking about his journey to the 7 summits, how he's doing it, what kind of preparation he's doing, and everything else. I didn't think much of it. But after Sandakfu, I came back home and I started dreaming about the 7. It's like, okay, yeah, I mean, obviously, it's an influence, right? Recency bias is what we usually say, right? Then I started having that dream over and over and over and over again. I remember having, when I was doing my first, when I was doing Everest Base Camp. After Roopkund, I imagined, or rather I dreamed about being at Everest Base Camp. And I thought I didn't have any kind of money, but I'm going to make it a reality. Mm-hmm. So I went. So at this moment in time, I was dreaming over and over again about the 7. And it flowed back into the whole idea of climbing the 7th, which is Everest. So I should do it. That's where the dream began, the journey began. The dream to implementation is a big, is a big gap, of course. Because just dreaming about it and actually putting in the work and the money and the effort and coordination, talking to your parents, telling them that, yeah, I'm climbing mountains all across the world. Are you mad? Who has the money? I don't, but loans. So that's, the dream to implementation is a big stage and there's a big gap. Fortunately, I'm a delivery manager, project manager, so I understand processes in mind, so I set up processes for myself. It's easier to follow a process rather than be haphazard in that case. But yeah, it started with a dream and it continues with the same dream. Every single time I climb, I check off one thing in that dream. But the more I, obviously in the climb, the more I dream. And the more I dream, the more I want to continue.
So I wanted to ask you about one aspect which you mentioned, financials. How does it work?
It doesn't. So that's a simple answer. Because doing mountaineering full-time is not an option generally. Not only because of the lack of financial opportunities from mountaineering, but also because doing the same thing over and over again is going to make it a job. I don't want a job.
Yes.
India Hikes doesn't pay well. A lot of these places don't pay well. So you need to think about how do you sustain it financially. And again, that's where my other passion comes into the picture of climbing the corporate ladder. I'm very focused in that department as well. So I work a lot. She sees that, unfortunately. These guys also see it so much. I work a lot. I wake up at 5, 6, train for about 3-4 hours, come back, start working, log off at around 11 p.m. in the night, and the cycle repeats over and over again. So it's just work, training, sleeping as much as possible. So earn as much as possible, save as much as possible, take loans. Remember that you have the payment capacity to actually pay back. And sometimes you don't as well, but balance it as much as possible. Again, there's no simple answer for it. If you want to do it, you should be doing it, or rather you can do it. It's not about should also. I want to climb, so I'll make it a reality. Nobody's going to help me. Nobody's going to give me any kind of sponsorship. Nobody's going to do anything. Putting myself out there is going to help me put my face across as something, okay, I'm reaching out for a dream. And recently I've understood that people are fascinated by people trying to achieve dreams rather than anything else. Which, again, to me as a person who thinks, okay, maybe people are not interested. Somehow people are interested for some reason. But it's a dream. And when we say it's a dream, a lot of people dream things, but they don't want to put in the effort to it. So when someone is making it a reality, it's a strange feeling of having some sort of community with that person. Thinking, okay, if I support that person, I feel a sense of achievement as well, which I did not know existed. But my friends say it does exist. It's nice.
Recently, even I have realized this one. Like, you need to put out yourself more, and a lot of people, they try to, take your accomplishment, a part of it. They want to become a part of your
Oh yeah,
accomplishment
yeah.
as
A
well.
small part,
Yeah,
whichever
small
that
part.
way.
Yes, absolutely. And I mean, like, no complaints on that part, or I'm not commenting anything on that one. But a lot of people want to be a part of that journey. Like, and even seeing your own journey that's you put up, they feel like they are connected to you.
Oh yeah.
And they are, they're cheering for you even without you realizing it and without even they realizing it.
I have a funny story. So I started my Instagram after a long time. I was not on Instagram for about 5 years. I before that as well. I was posting only on landscape photography because I was passionate about photography. So I took photos and I started posting. But people like Miraj, people like Padmaja, who's a friend's sister as well, and a few other people told me that it's not, nobody cares about you taking photos of, you know, trees, plants, lakes. They might find it fascinating. What connects you to them is your face and what your struggles are, which did not make sense to my brain at the beginning. It still doesn't most of the time.
Yeah.
But I started posting about my workouts, about happy days, about sad days, about days where I get injured, about days where it's too much and I can't bear it. About days where it's mentally it's not possible for me at all. And surprisingly, people relate to that more than the achievements of, hey, I
Elbrus.
climbed Elbrus. Nobody cares.
Yeah.
The journey is what everyone
Yeah.
is more fascinated about than the destination, because the destination, Elbrus, and you see so many people. If you just Google Elbrus and you'll see the top, irrespective of me posting it or someone else posting it. But seeing someone from the ground up saying that, okay, मैं हैदराबाद से हूँ, I stay right next door or maybe 20 kilometers away, I know this person is putting in so much effort, he has actually put up a guideline saying that, okay, go from one place to another place to another place, book tickets, get your visas, do this, do that, and then get to Russia, get stuck in immigration, look at all of the challenges, and then start climbing. This entire journey, nobody's, I mean, I think a lot of people are posting about it, but people whom you know want to see you
Yeah.
in this journey, not the output. Because initially I thought it was the output is important, but now I stand corrected.
I still am not that comfortable with Instagram and putting myself out there, so I understand what you're saying. But I keep reading about this. There's one famous wildlife photographer, and he takes beautiful photographs. So I read this somewhere that initially he was just posting about all the wildlife, everything, and he was like, nobody cares about how I look or who I am or any of that sort. But once he started putting up himself on the
Yeah.
ground, and once he started sharing his journey, that's when he could connect with more people. That's
Yeah.
what makes it more memorable. Like
More engaging is what I
yeah,
was told.
yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I'm not a social butterfly. I'm an introvert. This also makes me a lot nervous than normal. But
The feeling is very mature right now. I'm telling you for sure.
no, I have ADHD as well, so it's really difficult to context switch, and also I keep saying that I have two modes: the manager mode and my personal anxiety-filled mode. Whenever I'm doing such things in the office as well, first is calm down and try to be as formal as possible, and then try to be as normal as possible, which is hard.
So I wanted to ask you this, like before the mountain itself is a different phase of life, and afterwards it was different, right? How was that one particular part of your life has impacted the other part, like let's say corporate? Like you say you are ambitious, you are doing that. So how has that helped you in terms of, maybe being more disciplined in terms of everything else? Or
Yeah. No, let me start from the beginning, right? So, in the beginning, it feels like I'm quoting from the Bible or something. In the beginning, everyone starts with, I want money.
Correct.
Right?
Correct. Absolutely.
I don't care how it gets to this. I want money. And then you're too obsessed with quickness, swiftness. You want to get from 10,000 rupees to 50,000 rupees immediately.
Yeah.
You don't care what happens in between. You don't know what happens in between. All I know is that if I switch a job and then someone is paying you something, then amazing. And that was my mindset as well. I was at my current company, which was my first company as well. I was there for 8 years. For 6 years, I was earning kind of the same salary. But after year 3, after getting to the mountains, the mindset was different when compared to previous. The first 2 years, I was always thinking, the moment I got my first salary, I thought I'll quit because it was not enough. I was earning around 15,000. Next, after 1 year, I'm going to quit. It's not enough. 2 years, I'm going to quit. Not enough. Then hospitalization happened. Then the mountains started happening. Then you understand that everything is like a journey, and whatever happens, there's a lot of patience that you build up because you've climbed.
Yeah.
And that patience, if you are patient enough, you also translate that patience into goals. So in year 6, I put a goal for myself to be a project manager. And I knew to achieve that goal, similar to training for the mountains, was to do set of certifications, PMP, PGMP, PFMP. And I knew what needed to be done in terms of hard work. I needed to study, I needed to put some money in, I needed to sacrifice a lot of time with going out and everything else. So by year 8, I became one of the youngest people to achieve these trinity of certifications called PMP, PGMP, and PFMP. Nice. It's usually meant for 18 plus years or 20 years, or blah, 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 whatever it is. So that time, it was a sense of achievement. And once I hit that goal, the results came immediately. But until I hit that goal, I was not getting money. No, everyone was laughing at me for, just continuing to pursue something which is a promise rather than this, which is also one of the conversations we had last night with Sumaka especially. So the promise of something is difficult to maintain, but the journey is still important. You continue to invest your time, your money, your effort. But that's how it started, and it continues. I keep setting goals for myself. Mountains help me set goals. Mountains help me slow down. Mountains help me put things into perspective. And also mountains help me understand people more, which was a very weak point of mine. Still is, but I'm much better when compared to 7 years ago, 8 years ago. I can be an introvert. I can be an extrovert. I can be anything in between if I want to.
Oh yeah, this phrase I can very much relate to, because I do consider myself as an introvert as well. But before going to Roopkund, I decided to be, I want to be in proper extrovert in this one. I want to enjoy. I don't want to think about anything else. Just be, expressive and be open about it. And I did. I had a blast. I made a lot of friends, and all was there. Before going to Pangarchula, I was like, I'll be myself. I'll keep everything to myself and just be that. And I became that. That's when I realized that you do decide what you actually want to be, irrespective of what's happening around. And even today, especially in the being in the wedding industry, my energy runs out when I constantly interact. Like
Oh yeah.
by the end of the day, I actually like I don't want. There are days where I don't want to talk to anybody. I just want to be myself. Like, but I realized no matter what phase I'm in, once I take up the camera and once I step into that, the
Area.
area
Yeah.
of it, I talk, I make friends with the bride and the couple, and my constant goal is to make them comfortable and get
Yeah.
them comfortable to be around the camera, because not
Yeah.
everybody are. So if I sit back and analyze, I'm two different person
Yeah.
on
You
both
know.
sides, and
I know.
I'm constantly surprised, like uh, how I'm able to,
Context switch.
yeah,
All the
like,
time.
but I still do.
Yeah.
So
It's
uh,
become natural now.
yeah,
It's
correct.
because it's your job,
Yeah, correct.
and you know what works in your job,
Yeah,
and also you know what. It's not about pretending. Also, it's about just that natural switch,
yeah,
because you're good at it in this environment in a certain time period. You know that you're at 100% battery for about 4 years,
yeah.
4 month, 4 hours,
Us, yeah,
and then immediately 4 hours ke baad, oh sheesh, that's it. I'm
yeah,
done.
yeah, yeah.
So you go back home and relax or something.
And initially there was a phase where I was feeling that I'm pretending,
Yeah.
when I put up that face. But now I realized, no, it is just who I am.
Oh
Like,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
you become
100%.
that one. So I do understand when you put up that one. I have a question for you on this front. When I did Pangachula, like I like it was a last day summit was beautiful and all those things. I went there and everybody knew that I'm a photographer. I didn't even put my bag down. Everybody is like, take my photos, take my photos, take photos. I'm like, calm down. Let me just enjoy.
Yeah.
First, I have done something. No, I have
Yeah.
climbed here, which I never thought I would do, and in Pangachula you can see around 8 to 10 peaks,
Yes.
big peaks around you. Let me just try and enjoy. So, like, now you also have a background in photography and you do traveling a lot and you do take traveling pictures a lot. So, and I personally have this confusion every time I travel. I don't know whether
You
I'm a
should be.
traveler first or a
Are you
photographer
photographers?
first.
Yeah, I know, I know.
And I struggle with this a lot, a
I,
lot. I'm like, most of the times I'm like, I don't give a shit whether I take a photograph or not. I want to be there. I
yeah.
want to enjoy that. But then coming back home, when I'm like trying to look at the photos,
You're not
and
there.
I don't have any
Yourself.
of those which really was that beautiful, and I'm like, no, I should have taken that. So where do you stand on that one?
It's a really, it's not a difficult question. It's an easy answer. It's an easy question.
Uh-huh.
It's a difficult conversation. I keep thinking about what and if, and then there's a dialogue called what if. Okay.
Yeah.
So what and if, and then if you keep joining together, they say what if. So what if you are an asshole in front of them?
Yes.
Will they actually visit you again? No. What if you don't take their picture? Do they care? They take out their phones, take selfies, they just move.
Correct.
What if you go to that mountain on the top and instead of taking out the picture and pointing it to a face, you point it to the mountain? Do they care? They might be miffed at you,
Yeah.
but are you happy? So my photos, maybe, and again, I was in that situation where I was a people pleaser. I still am to a certain extent. Where once you reach the peak, I try to put my camera bag down. I've been lugging the camera bag while everyone was taking 1 liter of bottle.
Yeah.
And I'm like 2 liters of bottles, and then one full camera bag with two lenses and one big ass Nikon D7000 that time.
Yeah.
Like heavy bags. And I took it all the way to the top so that I can take pictures of what I find beautiful.
Yeah.
If it's a person, then great. If not, I want the mountains. Right? So initially, I used to be like, okay, guilt tripping to say, okay, they're asking, I have to be decent, I have to do this. So initially, I was under the impression that if I'm going, I'm the photographer.
Yeah.
But then people ask me, are you getting paid? Well, no. Well, no, but I want to see them happy. Are you happy? Yes and no. I can see the mountains, but did you capture photos? Did you do anything? Did you want to capture photos? It's not about having to capture or having not to capture. It's about did you want to? Everest Base Camp is a very classic example. So we went until Kala Patthar. It's at 18,200 feet. Freezing cold. All of the water was frozen. Hands were frozen. And everyone was struggling. But we were we started in the night and we were at 4 a.m. at the morning at the peak. And the sun was rising right behind Ahmad Ablam. Beautiful, beautiful view, right? And someone was tugging me from the behind saying, take my photo, take my photo. No, I'm not taking a photo. I am taking a picture of Ahmad Ablam. I'm not going to come back here anytime soon. Even if I'm going to come back, I'm not going to carry my camera again. I have enough experience to say, this is too much.
Yeah.
I have my camera right now. I want to take a picture of Ahmad Ablam. That is what I did. Having that boundary is really important. But again, you don't get to that stage unless you experience other things before you.
Yes.
Now people don't ask me anything, even though they see a Sony RX100 Mark 7 with me all the time towards my left side. They never see me take it out because I don't. I take out pictures only when nobody's there and I take pictures of myself. Either myself or the mountains. So I don't entertain that now. But I used to. And it only comes with experience. It only comes with being a people pleaser for a certain extent, I guess. It's hard. But yeah, it's fine. Nobody cares. Nobody's going to come and visit you. Nobody's going to ask anything.
True. Very true.
And on top of that, there's extra work. You take pictures. You have to post-process. You have to convert from RAW to JPEG. You have to send it to them. No.
Nobody understands that part of journey. Yeah.
So every single time people think, okay, capture a picture, send it now.
Yeah.
But D7000 में sending picture, capture का process ही नहीं है. At least with the A7, the Sony, you have image capture and you transfer and then it still takes time. It still takes Wi-Fi. थोड़ा time तो दो मेरे को. It's so hard to explain to people who are not using these cameras.
Yeah, true. Very true. This I always struggled with. Now though, like I made myself that I trip with very less people, and I mean very closed ones, and they know that even if I take the picture, they may not get it for a year or so. So they're okay with it, and I'm okay with it now. So
my best friends also say the same thing, man. If I take my camera out, I'm going to take their picture. It's just that they won't get it for a year almost. At least 3 months minimum.
Yeah, definitely. Like even recently we were like, before starting this and all, like one of my other friends, Sanjeev, he was supposed to be here today, but now he's tripping in Udaipur. But he was like, give the Meghalaya trip pictures. Like, sure, it's been 2 years already, but by this month end I will give you. But I don't know whether I can or not. Yeah.
True.
And there's always this one, right? Like you just don't want to give out the picture without editing it.
Oh, yes.
Like, you feel it is incomplete. They don't understand it, but from your perspective, you always feel something could have been done about this or that, and it is always there.
I mean, I understood that obviously from a photographer's point of view, you want to edit, you want to emulate what was in your eye at that moment in time versus what was captured, because most of the raw files are flat.
Yeah.
So you have to do all of the details that you saw, you remember, and then emulate the same thing. But with time comes fleeting memory, and that also means that you're unable to sit down and focus and then say, okay, but this is not what I remember. And then you lose interest. And then you're like, okay, maybe I'll do it some other time when I remember.
And that some other time will
never come. Exactly.
Yeah. So how far along are you with your 7? Like,
so I've done 3. Okay. Kilimanjaro in Africa. Aconcagua, it's not completely done, but I've been there. I went a little 6,400 meters. And I came back. So the mountain itself is 6,900. The idea is to go next year, 2027, 2026 January again, attempt it. So Aconcagua in Argentina, South America. Elbrus, Europe, highest mountain. Next is Alaska in 2025 June.
Okay.
So these are the four. After that, there are three more remaining. There's something called Kosciuszko, which is in Australia. It's pretty straightforward. It's almost like a 2-day hike. It's the smallest one amongst the seven, but it's the highest in Australia. So that counts as one of the seven. Then there are the bigger ones, Everest, which is the highest. And then the remotest one is Mount Vinson. It's in Antarctica. Vinson and Everest are extremely expensive.
Yeah.
How do I manage to do that? I still don't know. But the others, even Denali is going to be costing about 20 lakhs or something like that. It's still expensive, but manageable somehow or the other by just selling everything, doing everything, saving everything, not having any kind of money in my bank at all. But after that, Kosciuszko is the next one.
Okay.
Everest and Vinson, I'll need to figure out how to do it. We'll see. But yeah, it's still there. I'll make it a reality somehow or the other.
So how much does it cost? Like if you have to ballpark it, even one summit.
It depends on the summit.
Okay.
But see, there are two ways of doing it. First is you train and then you plan, then you summit.
Correct.
Second is you have money, you directly book through a traveler or something, go to the summit. Training is expensive. Food is expensive. Getting into shape is expensive. Not a lot of people consider that stage.
Correct.
So I would probably say about 5 lakhs just to think about food and training and everything else for a year. And if I'm thinking about Kilimanjaro, it's about another 5 lakhs in terms of expedition costs, flight costs and everything else. So 8 lakhs for the most straightforward mountain, which is Kilimanjaro. Aconcagua, about 18 lakhs again, something like that. If you are considering all costs, including the cost of all of my luggage being lost.
Your luggage was lost?
Yeah. When I landed into Argentina, both my bags got lost. It had all of my equipment. Even my underwear was inside that bag. I didn't have anything. I had one carry-on bag with one t-shirt, extra t-shirt. That's all. Everything was lost.
Okay.
Fortunately, I had my money with me and my electronics with me. I didn't take my camera along. So I had to rent out everything else and then go and climb. So
how was it lost? Like
the airline lost it.
Did they compensate or
no? It was about $8,000 worth of equipment gone.
Okay.
So it was not a nice place to be there.
Okay.
Of course, yeah. I had to figure out something. I was there, so I rented out all of the equipment. Fortunately, at the end of the trip, I got one bag back.
Okay.
2 bags back, but half of the equipment was lost. Still $8,000 worth of equipment lost. The bags were completely torn apart. The main important stuff was gone. The boots were gone. The down suits were gone. The gloves were gone. Every expensive stuff was gone, basically. All was remaining was my bottles, which is like 100 rupees, 200 rupees bottles. It was nonsense, but still, it was there. Something. And my protein bars were there. So good enough. So take something out of it.
So tell me about the food. How do you manage that one? And like when you're going out for so many other things, the food changes everywhere, right?
Oh yeah. No, so I'm a vegetarian. I'm an eggitarian. I'm lactose intolerant. I'm allergic to mushrooms. So the limitation is a bit extreme for people like me. So when you're traveling outside the country, the first assumption is you eat meat.
Yes.
And unfortunately, I can't digest meat. It's not. I can eat. It's just that I won't keep it in my stomach. It's going to go out either through the front or the back, whatever it is. So you have to manage. And most of the time, whenever I go for these summits, I start at around 80 kilos. I end up coming to 70 or 65 or something like that.
Okay.
Because all I survive on is potatoes or tomatoes or baked something. That's it. Or Maggie.
One savior.
Yeah, if I carry Maggie. But generally, obviously, wherever you go, if you're a meat eater, there's ample amount of food, ample amount of protein, ample amount of carbs that is available so that you can sustain yourself, you can maintain that energy and go around. But for exceptions like me, it's difficult because for vegetarians, at least normal vegetarians, there's milk, there's cheese, there's a lot of stuff because it's easy. I can't even have that. So I'm kind of in the minority of stuff where I live on energy gels. Argentina was just energy gels all through, nothing else. And Russia as well, energy gels.
So talk to me about this training, like before the summit, like how does it start, and like do you target something? What's the process like?
So training depends on context, right? So context means that which mountain are you climbing?
Correct.
Denali is a different mountain when compared to Kilimanjaro when compared to Elbrus. Because I'm training for Denali, I'll probably give you the gist of Denali. Yeah. Denali, the expectation is that you carry 25 kilos and you drag 30 kilos in a sled all through.
Okay.
Up and down, up and down. So that means all of your food, all of your gear, all of your water, everything, at the start at least. So to train for that, you need a really strong core, you need really strong shoulders, you need really strong legs, and on top of that, you need a really good back because you have to be pulling a lot of stuff. That's the output, or rather the desired outcome for now.
Correct.
To enable that, you need to train for these kind of parts. And for me, training is always divided into 3 parts. First is base training. Build up your strength, build up your muscles, build up endurance as much as possible. Muscular endurance. Second is endurance totally, meaning that you're looking at cardio more than actual strength training.
Yeah. That's
phase 2. And again, phases vary, the duration varies depending on the target, meaning how many months do I have. So for Denali, I started with the intention of 9 months. So I have 9 months in terms of that. My phase 1 is done.
Okay.
Now it'll be done in December. So that's why I'm still a little bulky. I'm still a little fat with all of the strength training in progress. January, say, it will start with cardio.
Okay.
So that means the weekly running average is going to go from almost 6 to 7 kilometers on average just now to about 60 to 70 kilometers on average. And about 30 kilometers or 40 kilometers of hiking on an average. So around 100 kilometers covered in a week for hiking and running with a sled. There's no sled, but a tire maybe. So that's phase 2. Third is mountain specific. You either have to be near the mountain at an altitude, or you simulate it with an altitude mask. So I have an altitude mask. I use that to simulate the oxygen deprivation and try to push myself to be in that situation. And the 4th stage is very short. It's about two weeks. It is a tapering phase.
Okay.
Where you are at maximum fitness and you need to reduce the volume just so that your body has enough rest before the summit actually starts, or rather the expedition starts. Because the expedition is not only directly climbing a mountain.
Yeah.
It's about going from point A through a flight, going through different time zones, getting to another place.
Yeah.
You need to recover there, food changes, jet lag stays, water changes, You need to adapt. In all of this, your body is going to be screwed up a lot. You need time to recover. So you can't have so much of impact on your body 2 weeks before you start. And then you start the mountain. So these are the 4 phases, 3.5 if I might say, that every single mountain has. Again, if you're doing structured training, unstructured people, they do it whatever they can because they have genetics. I mean, they can do whatever they want. But for me, structure is important. For me, plans are important. And I do this by myself. I don't take any kind of guidance from anyone.
Okay. So generally it takes about 1 year, like from the preparation.
Minimum 6 months. A recommendation is 9 months to 1 year.
Okay.
Depends on the base that you have. If you've already been climbing for a continuous period and you have base fitness coming in from the other mountain, then you'll be fine. You can continue. You can even manage in 4 months, 5 months.
Okay.
But without base fitness, without the basic strength building up, then I generally wouldn't recommend. I wouldn't go by myself as well because I'm not comfortable. I know that I won't be able to give my 100% because I've not done my 100%.
Okay.
So the input has to equate to the output. You have to give 100% to actually try to get 100%.
So that will be in
June 2025.
Okay. I think my voice is giving up now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think we can wrap this up here.
Yes. My voice is also going to go now.
Yeah, I think so.